nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, good morning, everybody. All right, item number 1.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from July 10th.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 1, approve the minutes of the July 10th meeting. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Item 2.
I make a motion to recess the Commissioners' meeting and open the salary board at still 9 a.m.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to recess commissioners and open salary board. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Go to the salary board. Scoop, how are you?
Doing well.
Salary board, open at 9 o'clock. Item number 1.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from July 10th.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve the minutes of the July 10th, 2019 salary board. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to approve number 2 as presented on the salary board.
I'll second that.
Jumped right on that there, Sheriff. Holy cow.
It's the only chance I ever get to vote at these things.
Yeah, wow. Got a motion by Sheriff Benedict, second by Commissioner Warren, to create 4 part-time union eligible positions for security guard, $13 per hour, varied hours. Questions or comments? Yeah.
Since I have the sheriff here, is this because, is there like some sort of increased need where you need your deputies on the road more?
That's correct.
And lack of deputies. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I guess, Sheriff,
Maybe
you wanna-
excused?
You can go, I guess.
You got what you wanted.
You don't mind you leave, I understand. All right, item 3.
I make a motion to approve item number 3 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 3 on the agenda, eliminate the full-time position of quality assurance officer, July 18, 2018. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Item number 4.
I make a motion to approve item number 4 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 4 to ratify and create a, I should say, yeah, it was July 20th. So this has to be to ratify and create a union eligible position of part-time telecommunicator at $14.78 an hour. Both of you fine with the correction?
Yes.
Sir.
All right, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Any public comment to the salary board? Hearing none, item 5.
Make a motion to close salary board and return to the Commissioners' meeting at 9:03.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to close the salary board and return to the Commissioners' meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Absolutely, you can go too.
I've excused.
What did you get out of this?
Nothing,
I
right?
know, nothing, I got nothing. All you can do is lose now.
Item number 3 in the Commissioners' meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 3 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 3 on the agenda to approve or ratify the cash disbursements and electronic payments. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 4 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 4 on the agenda to ratify or approve the following so stated requests for seminars and/or payments therefore. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. So carried.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 5 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 5 on the agenda to sign the fiscal year 2018-2020 County Human Services Plan Assurance of Compliance. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 6.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 6 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 6 on the agenda, ratify and approve the hiring of Richard Thomas of Wilkes-Barre to the open union eligible position of part-time corrections officer. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
I make a motion to approve item number 7 on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 7 on the agenda, to ratify and approve the hiring of Abigail Woodruff of Tunkhannock to the open union eligible position of part-time corrections officer. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 8.
Make a motion to approve item number 8 on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 8 on the agenda, ratify and approve the hiring of Jesse Igo of Halsted to the open union eligible position of part-time corrections office. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 9.
I make a motion to approve item number 9 on the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 9 on the agenda, to accept with regret the resignation of John Colton from the position of Deputy Sheriff. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 10.
Make a motion to approve item number 10 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, approve item 10 on the agenda, accept with regret the retirement of Raymond Totten from the position of caseworker 1 from Children and Youth. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 11.
I make a motion to approve item number 11 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 11 on the agenda, to ratify and approve the termination of Thomas Jagle from the position of full-time telecommunicator. Is that full-time or part-time?
Should be part-time.
It's part-time,
Is he part-time?
yes.
Was?
He was.
Was.
He was full-time, then went part-time, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, you fine with the change, both of you?
Yes.
sir.
All right. Questions or comments?
Good eye.
All in favor?
Aye. I make a motion to approve item number 12 on the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 12 on the agenda, ratify and approve the termination of Richard Thomas from the position of part-time corrections officer. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Item 13.
Make a motion to approve item number 13 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 13, to ratify and approve the resignation of Mary Rosengrant from position of full-time quality assurance officer in 911, effective July 18th. Questions or comments?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 14.
Make a motion to approve item number 14 on the agenda.
Does that have, that's not the starting rate, which is not the starting
It's
rate.
not the starting rate.
Okay, well, it needs to be included in that.
No, that's her rate that she gets paid.
I understand, but it needs to include that that is not the starting rate when someone else comes in, right?
Now, the starting rate stated in the salary board.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by Commissioner Warren to approve item 14, to ratify and approve the hiring of Mary Rosengrant to the open part-time position telecommunicator quality assurance officer, rate of $18.19 per hour. Questions or comments?
Yes. You have several positions here that look like they're telecommunicator or quality assurance officers. Some have been removed, some replaced, some are part-time, some are full-time. Are there several positions already there? Are we condensing positions or are we adding positions?
We had a full-time position, the lady went from full-time to part-time. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Item 15.
I make a motion to approve item number 15 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold to approve item 15, to allocate $100,000 from Act 13 funds for first responder training program. Questions or comments?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have anything that outlines the components, requirements of that program? You know, do you have a written process procedure in place
We are
yet?
currently working on that. We are getting, right now they're working on getting our facility designated as a certified training facility. So Scott and Ralph are working on that now. That shouldn't take too much longer. And then, of course, we'll do the EMT trainings and Fireman 1 trainings.
Will that be posted somewhere once you get it done?
Once we get the policies and procedures in place, then it'll all get posted and advertised so everybody will know about it. You know, we all sit around, people sit around and say, you know, what's the biggest crisis in our county? And everybody will say, well, opioids or this or that. The number one crisis in this county right now is not having volunteers for our firemen and our ambulances. Because it doesn't matter about all that other stuff. If you call 911 and we can't get a hold of somebody to bring an ambulance out or a fire truck, it doesn't matter about the other stuff. And right now we have a huge shortage. We have a huge problem getting volunteers. They can't retain them. An EMT class at the college is $2,000. So do you want to spend $2,000 to become a volunteer? That's the cheapest cost. That doesn't include all the other stuff you've got to buy to go with it.
Right.
So this is a way to try and help our entire population in this county, is by trying to work with the fire departments and the ambulance companies to try and get more people to volunteer with stipulations and to get them trained so that we have people days and nights to respond to the phone call when the phone call comes in.
I have a question on that too. As long as you're allocating $100,000, but I guess my biggest question is that gonna be enough? Have we done some kind of a survey or something to see how many volunteers are needed? And on each one of those type of situations?
Well, this is a start. Is it ever enough? No, it's never enough. I mean, if you take and you get, 10 EMTs that you train, well, 10 EMTs, that's gonna cost you $20,000. You know, so will it be enough? Well, it probably won't be enough to solve the problem, but it's a good start, and we can keep monitoring it and reviewing it and do what we need to do. There are fire departments that are already doing EMS classes, which don't have a cost, so that at least gives them some basics. But we need to work on the other stuff that we need so that they can have the EMTs and the responders that they need.
I guess that's kind of where my question really goes, is there gonna be like an annual check to see how much of the services are used and how many EMTs or firefighters are needed in those areas so that we can keep up with that?
Well, I think what you'll see is once we get the policies and procedures in place, it'll be probably, if not a monthly, a weekly check, because a lot of the trainings will be done at the county itself. So we'll be able to see firsthand, what's being used, who's getting it, and what's getting done, so. And the goal is, right now, the average in this county has been that only 45% of the people that take the EMT class pass the national test. So that's the crisis. The crisis is we've got to come up with different ways to educate people so that they can pass the test. If you take a person that's 40 or 50 years old that's not been in school for 20 years and say, okay, now you're going to start taking tests and get online and take tests, then, well, they're going to freeze up, they're not going to do well on a test. So the first thing we have to do is we have to teach people on how to take the tests. And there's programs out there we've already purchased which will take and teach people how to take tests so that they'll learn how to take the test. And there are practice exams out there that we can also procure so that they can take the practice exams so that they'll have a better chance. Our goal should be always to get 90 to 95% pass rate on the EMTs and the firemen ones.
And this training and stuff will be offered not only like during the day, but maybe at night too for the.
Right, we have to look at, because that's the problem. The problem is, okay, if you do the training during the day, that you're usually picking the people, if you do the training at night, which they're doing now, then usually you're picking up the people that work during the day, and so you're only getting people that are available at night. You've got to offer it on both schedules, because you need firefighters and ambulance drivers day and night. So if you're getting the people that work days only going to the class, then there's nobody around during the day because they're all working. So if we can get both ends of the spectrum, get the days and the nights and do concurrent classes, that way we can try and get people for during the day and for nights for the departments, and that's the goal.
Sounds good.
Can I just make a comment on people that have questioned $100,000 being a lot of money to put into this? Well, I just want to say shame on you for even questioning. $100,000 is nothing when it comes to volunteers saving 42,000 residents around the county. So comments have been made, and oh well.
I hope they never need the service.
Absolutely.
Item 16.
I don't think we voted.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item 16.
I make a motion to approve item number 16 on the agenda.
Second.
Do you know where he lives?
Susquehanna.
I should say from Susquehanna. Okay, got a motion and a second. Motion from Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold.
No.
No. Motion by Commissioner Arnold, second by Commissioner Warren, sorry. To approve item 16 to appoint Peter, how do you say his last name? Bauman from Susquehanna to the tick-borne disease task force, effective March 9th. Questions or comments?
Can you give us some details on that?
He's the president of the Southern Tier Line Support Group. He's, I believe he's an attorney.
And we still have openings on that board, on committee, correct?
He's an
Not that I
attorney?
was worried. He's a retired attorney. He got Lyme and almost died, so he had to retire early from his profession.
And he's from Susquehanna County?
Yes, he is.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 17.
Make a motion to approve item number 17 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 17 on the agenda, to open and award the sealed bids for the 2010 Dodge Caravan. And there's only one of those, so that's gonna be real easy. And that's through the municipal bid, and I bet it is $1,950. There you go, we will take that.
1,900.
I'll make a motion to award it to
Arthur Clark.
Arthur Clark for $1,950 from Yonkers, New York.
There you go.
Yay.
Do I have a second for that?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Aye.
Item number 18.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 18 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Arnold, to approve item 18 to open and award the sealed bids for the 2011 Chevy Tahoe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, first one here. This one is $751 from Mary Clinton of New Milford. Next one. $3,511 from Alan Sivers. Oh, we're getting up
Two of
there.
those, huh?
Damon Riley bid $1,200. Yeah, well, didn't make the list, buddy. I know, I'm hurrying. Let's see. 3168, Joseph DeBag, out of Island Lake, Illinois. And the last one is our municipal bid, $7,300.
Hannah.
Wow.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Syed Ali
Yep,
from Morton Grove, Illinois for $7,300.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Oh, dear.
Any public comment?
Oh, I have one.
Richard, go ahead first.
Actually, I have three, all of them are thank you to the commissioners. One is for the training that was held yesterday, and I think it's being held again today, Stop the Bleed and
The Alex
Active
training.
shooter.
and the active shooter. Very, very, very good. Thank you so much, because it helps make our community safe. The second one is from Clifford Fire and EMS. Thank you for the generosity and the contribution that was made by the commissioners to our company. And to the point about the activity, Clifford is the second busiest company in the county. That to Montrose. We go on 600 EMS calls and 400 fire calls a year. And as far as making the community safe with our training, as I left the courthouse yesterday, I was the first one in on a fully engulfed vehicle fire going up 106. And the coordination of a couple of different fire companies, no one was hurt, thank goodness, but a coordination of a couple of different well-trained fire companies, did its job. So thank you for the training dollars also. Thank you.
Okay. You have a comment?
I do. I still see a lot of questions about these stupid roads in Susquehanna County. And even coming here today, the detour from 706 took me through Southtown, and now Southtown has road work going on at the same time. Can Pennsylvania not get these things organized?
Well, so 706 was an emergency shutdown because the pipe cracked, so there was no control over that. Southtown is scheduled to get done, so they're working on it. I realize it's an inconvenience for everybody, but, everybody wants the roads fixed. We're working on getting them fixed as fast as we can. We're burning daylight. We have problems with rain in this area, and we have problems with plants closing in October. So we do as much as we can, as fast as we can. And unfortunately, none of this is even a county problem. This is all PennDOT. So I would suggest if you have some concerns or some comments to call Rich Roman in Dunmore or to call Brian Small over at PennDOT here in Montrose.
Well, and that's actually where my original comment was going to go. There's so many comments out there. Is there someplace on the county page even that could be posted what roads, what bridges, whatever is Susquehanna County's responsibility?
It's not Susquehanna County's responsibility, but again, if you go to
We do have a couple bridges,
PennDOT's,
though.
you go to PennDOT's website, you can find it there.
Don't we have a couple of bridges and like one road in Susquehanna County that we're responsible for?
Well, Susquehanna County doesn't have any bridges closed.
Not closed, but we're not responsible for any of the roads or
No.
any of the bridges?
We have 32 bridges. Our bridges are all open.
Well, that's where I'm going though. I'm not talking about closed bridges. I'm just talking about what the county is actually responsible for. So you just did say we have
We
Susquehanna
have
County
32
doesn't-
bridges and 3 dams.
Like, she's just I think if I understand correctly, she's just asking maybe for a list on the county website of these are the county bridges,
what
these are the
county's
county
responsible for.
streets, because you have like,
We only have one street, that's
I know
that.
you have one street,
Right.
I'm just saying, the street.
Right.
But you know what I mean, so
So then when people start.
then it's clear
Yeah.
that,
Well, I'll make it, we'll look at doing that, but I'll make it real clear. None of the county bridges are a problem. So anything that has a bridge
Right.
problem or a road problem is all state or township. And most of the townships don't have bridge problems. Most of the problems are all state. All the bridges that are closed right now are all state bridges. All the roads that have problems on them are all state roads.
Well, and see, where I was going with that is when we get run up with things like this, yeah, we can send them to the state. Because honestly, there's a lot of us that are sitting here trying to help explain, what county positions and jobs and things like that are. And when we run up against people that say, well, this road is out and that road is out, I don't know personally which roads the county or which bridges the county is actually responsible for taking care of. I'd like that list to be available so I can say, no, you guys are wrong. That's, state road, that is township road. This is all the county is responsible for, and send them a link to that. So they can maybe start understanding just how much the county is actually responsible for, rather than, constantly attacking you guys. Then it's like, all right, this is all they're responsible for, so let's go see where it is. I think it would help us as a whole, as a community, to be able to see, all these complaints don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just where I was going with that. I think that little list could be so much help.
As we continue to work on our web page redesign, we will see if we can incorporate something into it. But I will tell you, on my Facebook page, it doesn't go bi-weekly or daily that I don't put on there that it's not our problem. Call Rich Roman in Dunmore or call Brian Small in Montrose. It's on there all the time. So, and again, you know, my problem is we fight nonstop, even though it's not our jobs as commissioners to worry about the state roads or deal with the state roads. We fight with them nonstop about getting the roads done, and all we continue to get is, and again, I want to echo this very loud and clear, because somebody's out there saying, well, you know, the commissioners are bad-mouthing the PennDOT workers, they're not doing a good job. That is not true. Our PennDOT workers do a great job. They work hard, and they do the best they can with the equipment they have. I just saw a guy the other day. He's got a dump truck he's driving for the state. It's got a full load of blacktop on it, 350 degrees, and he's in 90-degree weather, and the air conditioner in the truck's been broke for 6 months, and they haven't decided to fix it. They're down there, and if you look in this area, when they're milling out the roads to fix them, our guys are out there with shovels trying to shovel the dirt out of the holes to get them cleaned out to put the tack and blacktop in. Well, you go down south, they got big vac trucks down there. They don't have a shovel in their hand. It sucks the dirt right out of the hole, and that's it. So our guys in this county do a fantastic job with what they get to work with. But we got to remember, there's only 8 crews in this entire county. And there's 7 guys on a crew, and that's it. But when they go to do something like patching 81, they have to take 2 or 3 crews together and combine them in order to meet the safety standards for PennDOT. So if they do that, that means there's only 3 other crews in the county working someplace. So it's a huge problem. We don't have enough guys. We don't have enough equipment. And all I keep hearing is we don't have enough money. Well, by God, we just put $900 million in a rainy day fund in Harrisburg that everybody's patting themselves on the back in Harrisburg about. What a great job they did as legislators and governor in Harrisburg, put $900 million into a rainy day fund. Well, you know, it's been raining in Susquehanna County for the last 20 years on these roads. And yet none of them can seem to be smart enough down there to say, hey, maybe we ought to kick $50 million out of this rainy day fund, send it to Susquehanna County, get these roads contracted out and get them fixed. So, you know, there's a lot of issues here, and believe me, daily I am on my Facebook page saying, call Rich Roman, call Brian Small, and probably next week I'm going to start putting Leslie Richards' phone number on there for the Secretary of Transportation out of Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Because I am tired of the crap with these roads. And believe me, we're gaining, they're getting a lot of work done, but everything we're doing is, a lot of it's just Band-Aids. And the Band-Aids are gonna come off in the middle of winter again, and we're gonna have major problems again. So, we need a coming to Jesus party in Harrisburg with these people down there to get them to understand that enough's enough. And the only way it happens is, like I say on my Facebook, people need to start calling. If nobody calls, then they don't care. They could really give a rat's butt what we say as commissioners, because we don't mean anything to them. But when the people in the public call, the voters call and say, hey, we're tired of things, that's when they start paying attention. They don't really care what we have to say. I've been promised for 2 months that Route 11 was going to start on a certain date, and it hasn't hit one date that they said it was going to start. So, you know, they don't bother them to tell me, give me bad information or whatever. So the only people it matters to is when the public starts calling. So I will tell you this, tomorrow I will post on my Facebook page, I will post Leslie Richards' phone number and her email address so people can start calling her and start emailing her, because obviously we're not getting the attention we should be. So that's what I got to say about PennDOT at this point.
Good job.
Anybody got anything else? One last thing I want to say too, so everybody's aware, you know, because in the past we always got beaten up for library funding here. Hey, you don't give the library enough money. We've given the library more money each year, and we've stepped up when the state took the money away from the libraries. And of course, the library has millions of dollars in their savings accounts. They're not starving or anything. They just spent $5 million on a new library and $500,000 to $800,000 on renovating this place and paid cash for the whole thing. And also, the public library's just got an additional $5 million out of the state budget. So there's no reason for them to whine anymore that they don't have any money. And with that being said, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. 929.
Where'd you go?
Where'd he go? He just
He missed my best part.
He's driving the Chevy.
He wheeled out.